article here, people are saying that 100% domestically all the oil is going to go, into the United States from that Bakken access, Dakota access. But it says here that the U.S.-based Continental Resources are seeking to sell Bakken crude oil to South Korea. And the move being described as a major coup in the aftermath of the lifting of the U.S. crude oil export ban in January. So Rick Perry had helped get this ban, lifted, and he's on the board of the Dakota Access Pipeline, the parent company, the Energy Transfer Partners. And the CEO, this guy is so rich, he is so filthy rich, he's got a private island in Roden, Honduras, and he's got skunk pigs and giraffes and 4 or 5 different ranches with about 20 to 30,000 acres, in total. I don't know how big that island is or where that island is, just that it's off the coast. And so even the information that we do have is very general. His son has a park that's in Dallas, Texas. Downtown Dallas, Texas has, and it looked like, I saw a little picture of it. I just read about it, but then I saw, I didn't look at it too closely, but I was like, that looks like a pretty big park. Okay, so there's some speculation about where, let's see, they're going to try to get some oil to South Korea, and they're like, how are you going to do that? And now we know. Now we know the reason. So Continental Resources CEO Harold Hamm told the audience last week as an opener for a speech by Donald Trump he had recently returned from South Korea where he was engaged in negotiations to deliver Bakken crude oil to the East Asian nation. This is Argus Media and National Gas Intelligence reported. And we are going to be able to do that. We're going to have Bakken oil going to South Korea. Continental Resources partners with South Korea's SK Group in Oklahoma gas production. They partner. So Continental Resources partners with South Korea's SK Group. And then in South Korea, SK Group operates a 170,000 BPD refinery. So I don't know what that means. But BPD, I don't know what BPD is. But that means that you have South Korea's SK Group has in Oklahoma gas production, so you get the crude oil. You got to get the gasoline out of the crude oil. Continental Resources, they're right there. Oklahoma's right there, North Dakota. And then you have the Gulf, Nederland, Texas is where you have this facility where they got shipping docks. So you got about 5 ships, shipping docks. And then they're spending, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 50 trillion dollars or something for an interior, exterior processor or something. So it's an expensive facility. It was owned by Sunoco. Now the Energy Transfer Partners, ETP, they have the entire, Sunoco chain is underneath them, and Stripes. So they have 600, 700 convenience stores with Stripes. And then they got 5,000 gas stations. 5,000 gas stations on top of all the pipelines, 71,000 miles of pipeline, plus they got 5,000 gas stations. And this is Kelsey Warren, who's the CEO. So it's all for one man. That's who this is all going to benefit. Donald Trump says that we should have gone into Iraq and just took their oil, right? And just go in there, just take their oil, right? Just steal it. Well, hell, why go to another country? Just go to North Dakota and just take their damn oil. It's not like the people will actually stand up and say, oh, no, this is our oil. What you'll get is those who align themselves with Kelsey Warren's corporation, they get jobs, they'll get benefits, and then they'll be paid a decent wage. And so they'll be like, well, we need this job, and we need to work. And, yeah, we all do need a job, and we all do need to work. In this country, if you don't have a job, you die. So it's work or die. That's the proposition. So we're, by default, we're all capitalists. We have to be capitalists. If you don't, get out and hustle, you die. And at least that's been my experience. And so that's what they're doing. So you're going to have a lot of people, that does not benefit from this at all. I don't even think that the gas prices will go down. I don't see any indication of why the gas prices would even go down. They like to maximize their profits. They don't want to, people been paying $2 for gas per gallon of gas. Why would they, if they could lower it, why would they? Instead of profiting, 50 cents, then if gas was cheaper for them, they could just profit, a whole buck now per gallon. And so that seems like it would be smarter for them in terms of maximizing profits to help their, Wells Fargo and Citibank and Chase Bank and J.P. Morgan, and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has got some investment in this company too, which is, I guess it's not too odd. It's a corporation too. So yeah, that's what we're That's what we're seeing right now. And it's going to South Korea. So we actually have a destination. I speculated China or Honduras. He's got the island over in Honduras. He goes to Tegucigalpa and, chats it up with the president of Honduras. And he did this last year. So this was, about 7 years after that Honduras coup d'etat, corporate coup d'etat. So now we have a pro-capitalistic, pro-free trade, pro, sort of GATT, WTF, IMF kind of country that's willing to allow American corporations to come in there to build the necessary, infrastructure, and so they can extract all the resources and make a pretty penny so they can profit all that money. And we've been doing that with Chiquita Banana. It used to be called United Fruit. And so I can't even eat Chiquita Banana once you've learned about all the crimes that, Ronald Reagan helped. And we did it in the 50s, we did it in the 80s, not just El Salvador and Nicaragua and another country. There's 3 countries, main countries. There's El Salvador, Nicaragua, and something else. El Salvador. I don't know. I'm sure it's in this 9/11 book by Chomsky. But yeah, I mean, all for United Fruit. We went against the people and defended the corporatists, and it was a violent repression. So no telling, it's been engulfed in a civil war for about 30 years, and that's all for bananas, all over tropical fruit, because we want to go to the grocery store and pay $3 for a thing of bananas. There's no banana trees around here, so it's all being shipped up here, and then we all get to say, "Ooh, wow, we're such a great country. Look at all this stuff I can do without bananas. I can live my life without having to eat bananas. I am okay with that." And I do like the banana runts, though. Those things are the best. Out of all the runts, that's the best. And so, yeah, I guess that's about it. So, South Korea, we got a country. Where's all this Bakken oil going to go? It's going to go to South Korea. And then when they maximize profits to sell them to the South Koreans, how do we get any of the money? Where do we benefit at all in that? From producer to refinery to the ship to South Korea. Maybe we can get taxes. Maybe there's taxes. Oh, no, he's not paying income taxes. The Energy Transfer Partners don't pay any income taxes. The way that they're set up, they're a master limited partnership. And since they're a master limited partnership, that's not an LLC, it's not an INC, it's not anything, really. It sounds like it's just some made-up stuff. And the way that the business article that I read, the way that they described it was they get taxed on the dividends. And so, Kelsey Warren puts all the pipe down, and he invests in all this, that interior, exterior, pipe and all the ships and the transportation. And since he spends all that money, when he sells it to North Korea and they give him a chunk of money, or when people, these oil companies are using his pipes, he's going to charge them money. And then once he profits all that money, he'll pay all of his investors out, and then that's where the tax comes from, when he pays all the dividends out. So everybody gets taxed on the dividends, and therefore he doesn't get taxed on any of the income. He call that a double tax, right? He just made this money, and if you get taxed on the income and then you get taxed on the dividends, well, that's not fair. That's double taxation without representation, man. So he doesn't pay any income taxes, because the idea is and I have no idea how many, corporate taxes are like, what, 33% or something? But that's income tax, right? So he's getting away with not paying that income tax. And when people say that we have the highest corporate taxes in the world, what are they talking about? I mean, I don't know what the dividend taxes are. Are the dividend taxes 33% or 37% or not? It sounds like he's paying 0% when it comes to income taxes, and I have no idea what the rate on the dividend taxes would be. So, yeah, that's your boy, Kelsey Warren. Y'all need to get your boy. Why y'all letting this guy, if you're part of his empire, maybe if you're the gardener, right, you'd be like, no, Master Kelsey Warren, he's so good. I'm trying to do a white slave voice. Master Kelsey Warren, he's just my man. I love Master Kelsey Warren. Master Kelsey Warren, he gives me $10 an hour and always asks me about my kids, He don't have to do that. He could just be like, go clean up that poop. He don't give me no health benefits or no vacation days, nothing like that. I'm very volatile job. I could be fired at will, just for looking at him wrong. Yeah, I'm scared to death. I try to be nice and try to have a pleasant personality, but I don't know if I'm going to have a job tomorrow and I got kids to feed. So those part of his empire will benefit. Anybody that's not a part of Kelsey Warren's empire won't benefit. And so that's what? The whole country. The whole country is not going to benefit. Don't believe the depressing of gas prices. Maybe Sunoco. I might believe Sunoco might have cheaper gas. But if it's the only one, Marathon gas station has a monopoly here in Kentucky. They like to raise the rates in the city. So for some reason, the city of Louisville had to pay like 30 cents more on top of everything else. And they have a monopoly, so who else are you going to go to? You're going to go to the, you're going to drive, 4 states away and get some other gas? No, if you got Sunoco and you have competition. If there's a Sunoco in your town and a, Valero or Shell or Marathon or BP, if you have some competition in your town, maybe you might see cheaper gases when it comes to Sunoco. But they'll just undercut it by 10 cents. So that way you're like, $2.50? Well, that's $2.40. I'm going to give myself a good deal. Sunoco's only $2.40. Only $2.40. I remember being mad about it when it was over 99 cents. $1.05? This is crazy. What has the world come to? $1.05? I'm not paying no $1.05. No, sirree. Okay. So.